Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. I recently received an email from Amy, one of the members of our GPS for Love community. And Amy had been watching the video called How to Know If You're Compatible with a Guy. And in that video, I talk about the 4 C's of compatibility, which are chemistry, connection, common morals, values, and goals, and communication. And Amy's watching this video and she goes, Joe, I have all 4 of these things, but there's one problem. We can't be together. I really feel like he's my soulmate, possibly even my twin flame, but he's with someone else and so am I. What can or what should I do? Well, first of all, since Amy wrote in, and you know here at GPS for Love, I'm all about delivering the truth. And sometimes delivering the truth means giving you a loving kick in the ass. So here it goes. Amy, first and foremost, you have to understand there's one major problem here. You're in a relationship with someone and he's in a relationship with someone else. So I find it very difficult to say, we're soulmates, we're twin flames, if you're both committed to other people. Now, I know you're going to sit there and you're going to say, Joe, but you don't understand, and you're going to come up with a whole host of reasons while you're in a relationship, and you're going to come up with a whole host of reasons and excuses why he's in a relationship with someone else. Now, I'm not saying that there's not extraneous circumstances which cause you both to be in these other relationships. But the reality is, if you were really soulmates and you were really twin flames, you would ultimately find your way to each other. And so the fact that you're not with each other is what you really need to look at. So my suggestion here is to take a step out of this relationship and ask yourself the question, what is a soulmate? What is a twin flame? Because I know there's so many definitions out there, and very often we'll read a definition and we'll use that as justification as to why it's okay for us to stay in our current circumstances. So I'm not big on definitions and titles or anything else. I'm big on one thing. Are you experiencing the results you want in your love life? If you're either are or you're not. Okay. Obviously, if you're in a relationship with someone and he's in a relationship with someone and you're both pursuing each other, then things are not currently good. And I'm a big believer, clean up your messes before you get into another relationship. Because very often we look at the twin flame, the soulmate, as a distraction which keeps us from dealing with our own stuff. I've seen this before. I did it in my own personal experience. I've had family members do it, friends, a ton of women that I've coached and worked with, is very often you're not happy and fulfilled in your current relationship. And instead of facing that, dealing with it, making those tough choices or decisions, you stay there and then pursue somebody else who will start meeting some of those unfulfilled needs in the short term. But very often what happens is because you haven't dealt with your stuff, this person is simply a distraction, an excuse to get you away from there. And then you get involved with them and then you realize, guess what? The same shit happens again. Okay, you realize, oh my God, it's the same person. And that's where the trouble lies with this. So Amy and anybody else who's in a current situation like this, it's time for some serious mirror time. Take a step out of your life, look at things as an observer, and get clear on this one question. What is the type of relationship that you're really looking for? And if you're in a relationship with someone, you're either getting it or you're not. And if you're not getting it, before you leave, make sure you exhaust every possibility of knowing that this is never going to be the relationship I really want. Don't just think, okay, well, I can't do it anymore, and then I'm out of here, and then go have an affair, because guess what? If you didn't deal with the cause of what happened there, and you potentially were part of the problem, then guess what? You're going to get the same experience over and over again. And I know this is that tough love, but I'd rather give you the tough love now and help you really look at this and understand what's going on than to ignore it, tell you, oh yes, he's the man of your dreams, and just hold on, he's going to show up, and then you roll the dice and figure out 3 months, 3 years, 3 decades later that, he wasn't, and I'm back in the same boat. Because if you're going to create a great relationship, you've got to do things a little differently. And part of that is being able to take responsibility for where you are now, clean that up, deal with it in whatever way you need to deal with it. And then if it doesn't work, then move on. There's an old expression, if you love someone, let them go. If they come back to you, they're yours. If not, they never were. So, Amy, clean up your stuff, get clear, and if that doesn't work, then move on and make sure he does the same. And if both of you do that, and then you see that somewhere down the road, you're in the same place, and you come together and you're able to have that relationship, great. But right now, if I was a betting man, based on how you're both doing things, I'm betting against you. And I'm sorry if that hurts. I'm sorry if that offends you, but it's my truth based on understanding how people operate as human beings emotionally and how this whole love and relationship thing works. So I'd love to hear from you, not only Amy, but other members of the community. What's your thoughts? Do you believe this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And if so, that's perfectly okay. Go ahead and put why you disagree down in the box below. And if you agree and you see that you were in a situation like this before and it didn't work out and it wasn't the soulmate, go ahead and share that as well, because your information you're sharing is completely valuable, not only to Amy, but to the other members of the GPS for Love community. As always, an honor, privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.